So we just got the cinematic trailer reveal for the next expansion for Diablo 4, Diablo 4 Lord of Hatred, and there is a ridiculous amount of cool stuff. First off, as you'll see in the trailer and at the Game Awards, it was announced that the Paladin is actually dropping with Season 11, which is something that is very surprising. I have multiple videos going over the information that was pointing towards this, and it is true. The Paladin looks pretty crazy. Looks like the classic Paladin, and we get to play today. I think it's going to be off of a pre-order, but we also got a bunch of new information, and there's only one article about it so far from Xbox Wire, which is just officially Xbox. So this is official information, and they give a summary. So Diablo 4 Lord of Hatred arrives April 28th, 2026 on all the systems. There's new classes, plural. So there will be the Paladin in Season 11, and then a new class on the launch. So we're getting 2 new classes, which is crazy. A new region and a complete evolution of skills and itemization. And in this article, we'll get into that there's also meta progression in the endgame now. The Paladin class is available today with a pre-purchase of Lord of Hatred, and they tease something at the end of the cinematic, which maybe I'll do another video on. So then we get some further information on the Paladin. So 2 new classes, Paladin available today with Lord of Hatred pre-purchase. The other is a secret playable class at launch. The sword and board is back and just in time for reckoning that awaits us. A Paladin carries more than 25 years of Diablo legacy, and the Lord of Hatred sees their return as Sanctuary's last beacon of divine authority. Their skills are built around strength and overwhelming holy impact. Iconic favorites like Aura's Blessed Hammer, Blessed Shield, Condemn, Zeal, and Heaven's Fury return alongside the Oath system, which is a set of sacred paths which reflect the codes of faith the Paladin swears to uphold. If you pre-purchase the expansion, we'll be able to play it today on the launch of Season 11, which is absolutely crazy. There's also some further information released in some other areas, but it's going to be the Paladin, and it's probably going to be pretty good. But then we have Welcome to Scovos, Sanctuary's ancient heartbeat. With Lord of Hatred, the world of Sanctuary expands to the legendary Scovos. I hope you like water, because Scovos is waterlogged as hell from the volcanic west to the forests of the east and the sunken lands in between. This zone is steeped in the history of Sanctuary. Scovos is the ancient birthplace of the firstborn civilization and the former home of Lilith and Inarius, full of sinister cultists, horrors from the sea, and the ever-lingering shadow of hell. So a new area. I'm pretty sure this is where the Amazonians are from as well, so that may be the other class, but seems like a pretty interesting zone. It should be really cool in how good the graphics are of Diablo 4. But then we have some of the crazy stuff, even considering the Paladin just got shadow dropped. So the Wanderers of Hell grow stronger, major skill and itemization updates. This is one of the most comprehensive gameplay evolutions for Diablo 4 since launch. All 8 classes are getting major skill tree reworks, including new skill variants for every class and a new level cap. This will become available whether you choose to grab Lord of Hatred or not. If you do though, you will also be able to play with bonus skill variants across each class, explore a fresh take on crafting systems like the Haradric Cube, and equip set bonuses with the new Talisman. So there is a ton here. First off, the thing I don't think I like, if they're explaining this correctly, is it sounds like there are skill variants outside of like the big rework that everybody's getting, that if you get the expansion you get. So whether or not you get the expansion, you will get the increased level cap and the overarching skill tree overhaul, but then there are going to be some small variants just for the expansion, and that will play a little bit weird that there will be stuff in the skill tree maybe that you have to get the expansion for. But outside of that, massive skill tree overhaul, a new crafting system of the Haradric Cube, which I'm not exactly sure which direction they're going to go with that in the crafting system, and then equip new set bonuses with the new Talisman. So it sounds like the Talisman is a new slot, and we're also getting sets. So that's a ridiculous amount of stuff. Then they say, did I mention there's a loot filter? So there is a loot filter coming as well, and these updates will provide more choice and customization than ever before. So no matter which classes you prefer, there will be plenty to explore as you build your character. Fresh builds, more strategic depth, more meaning, more fantasy. So it sounds like we are getting some of the big overhauls with the expansion, including the big skill tree overhaul, which I've talked about many times. This is one of the big areas they've actually told us about. And then next up, we have the Endgame section, which sounds massive. So a playlist of demonic death, the overhauled Endgame. Lord of Hatred will bring a revitalized Endgame built around choice, mastery, escalating challenge, and loot. This expansion introduces war plans, which allows you to craft your own Endgame progression path. We all have certain activities we prefer or that are more suited to the character we're building. War plans allows you to create a playlist of those activities and layer strategic modifiers over the top of them, pushing you to earn higher value you rewards as you progress. Additionally, we're introducing Echoing Hatred, where you face endless escalating waves of demons. For those who love pushing their character's limits against the deadliest threats, Echoing Hatred is a true test of your build, skill, and strategy. The deeper you go, the greater the risk and the more coveted the loot. So this is pretty massive. First off, War Plans is meta progression. So now you can choose the different activities you like and put those in this playlist of activities you like, and then layer different modifiers and things on top of that playlist to just earn more loot and make the content much more difficult. So it is just a full meta progression system for the endgame, which is massive. Echoing Hatred sounds like a new endgame system where we face escalating waves of demons, so every new wave is more difficult. It does also say the deeper you go, the greater the risk. I'm wondering if this is going to be like a tower, or you're going more and more into the depths of hell, or if this is just going to be like one room or a few rooms you stay in to kill hordes of enemies. It sounds like how they're explaining this, and based off the expansion, that we're probably going like deeper and deeper into hell, and it just gets more and more difficult. So again, incredibly good change for the endgame and some new actual endgame content. Then we have the Prime Evil and You. The campaign continues. Lord of Hatred is a culmination of everything that was set in motion the minute Lilith, Blessed Mother, entered Sanctuary. Following the events of Diablo 4 and Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred, the stakes have never been higher as the Prime Evil Mephisto, Lilith's father, now walks Sanctuary under the guise of a false prophet Akarat, gathering followers to set his ultimate plan in motion. This isn't just about domination, it's about absolute corruption. The very essence of humanity is under threat, and you'll need old friends, unlikely allies, and the determination to risk it all to even stand a chance. Diablo 4 has been dark, but it's about to get even darker. This is a showdown against a Lord of Hatred himself in the very place Sanctuary was born. So we're actually going to be fighting full Mephisto in Sanctuary, which is going to be absolutely massive. Hopefully this campaign is a bit better than Vessel of Hatred. While I thought Vessel of Hatred was like a 7, maybe lower because we didn't actually fight Mephisto at the end, hopefully this one is really good with a really good start and really good ending. And then the final section is PS, fishing is coming. I've always maintained that Diablo is a cozy game. I will not hear a word otherwise, and the upcoming edition of fishing honestly solidifies that for me. So they are adding fishing. Not exactly sure what this is going to entail. It may just be like a small mini game or something to give you something to do if you don't feel like slaying demons, or it may be connected into other parts of the game, but it's probably going to be something that's more of a small mini game. That's pretty much everything we've gotten in this first article. I'm sure we'll get a bunch of further information. This expansion is seeming absolutely massive, much bigger than Vessel of Hatred, a complete rework to skill trees, skills, other things like that. Technically 2 new classes with the expansion, even though one is coming today. We're getting meta progression in the end game, a completely overhauled end game. We're getting a new massive end game system, the new campaign. So it seems like this expansion is going to be massive, and I'm definitely going to be doing a bunch of videos for season 11, and I'm definitely going to be doing a bunch more videos keeping you up to date with everything we learn about this expansion and builds and things for season 11. But that's what I want to go over, so thanks for watching.